Hi, this is Cooking with the Hot Husband again, and today we are going to have a stuffed baguette with ground beef, a little bit of caramelized onions, some bell peppers, and all we need is salt, pepper, and I like a little splash of Worcestershire sauce. Alright, step one, we set the oven to preheat. I like 400 degrees. And I press the start button, so that gives enough time while we're preparing everything for the oven to heat up. Then by the time you have the baguette ready with the meat, the oven is already preheated, and all we have to do is wait 20 minutes and have a yummy dinner. Next step is get the onion prepared to get it caramelized. I like to take the heads off, halve it, peel the first layer, bam, second layer on the other half. Then get the onion peeled. Alright, onions are almost cut. I'm preheating the skillet on max heat. I like for the onions to get them into a nice brown tone on high heat. Add a little bit of canola oil into the skillet. I have the skillet set on max heat, and I like to stir them with the solid silicone spatula and give it a few minutes to brown the onions before we add the meat. And now, since the onions are nice brown caramelized, I'm adding the meat. And for this, I put the whole ground beef in here and then break up the meat with the spatula. And this is around about like 2 pounds. And I'm breaking it up with the spatula. Still have it set on high heat to really sear it a little bit, make it crispy. While the meat is getting nice and brown, I am cutting a quick bell pepper and adding the bell pepper for a little bit of crunch to this whole mix. First in stripes, and it makes it easier to cut them into cubes. I'm almost done cutting the bell pepper, will be added shortly to the skillet with the meat and the onion. Look at this, it gives also a little bit of color. Alright, transferring it into the skillet. Last thing, a little bit of salt. I like garlic salt, it's easy, has a nice little garlic flavor. Nice little pinch of salt, a little bit of plain pepper, alright, for a little bit of kick. And last but not least, Worcestershire sauce. If you don't like it, you leave it out, but it adds a nice little flavor. In our case, one baguette is making 6 nice little pieces, and you turn them up on a baking sheet. In this case, they perfectly fit all on one baking sheet. Alright, you take a spoon and you just scrape out the center of the baguette to create a nice little trench for the meat. Now, since we caramelized the onions, the beef, the bell pepper, I'm slowly filling up the baguettes. I'm filling the baguettes slowly with the spoon, the meat filling, and you can pack them all the way to the top. Filling them slowly. I try to pack as much meat as possible. Make it nice and savory. Next and final step is I like to use some white cheddar, and I cut them in half. And now I'm just placing the cheese on top of the baguette to hold the meat together before it goes into the oven. The oven is preheated at 400 degrees. The last step we have to do is just put it in there for around about 15 minutes. That's plenty since the meat is cooked. We just want to brown the baguette a little bit and obviously make the cheese nice, crispy and bubbly. Now putting all this with the cheese into the oven. I'm going to add the time. It's 15 minutes. Oven is preheated at 400 degrees. Put it in there, close it, and now all we have to do is wait. Now look at this. Slightly brown, crispy cheese. Don't forget to put some oven mittens on. In this case, some claws. Alright guys, make sure you have good oven mittens, because if not your hands are burning. This is a lovely baguette with ground beef, bell peppers, caramelized onions and topped up with some nice caramelized cheese. Looks fantastic to me. I hope you guys like it. Enjoy.